So today we're going to be learning the bulky dish scrubby crochet pattern. Now this was printed off in black and white. And this is kind of what it's going to look like. Now you're going to need, they recommend using Red Heart Scrubby yarn in Tropical, Citrus, and Blossom. However, that yarn actually hurts my hands. So I'm going to use this acrylic black Red Heart Jumbo. They recommend a G 4mm hook or H 5mm hook. Now this is actually a 5.5mm hook. You're gonna need scissors of some sort. I'm gonna use my tension ring, and they also say about needing tapestry needle or a metal yarn needle with a large eye, and it's a beginner skill level, and it'll be approximately 4 inches long, 4 inches wide, and 1 inch tall, and the size may vary slightly with the tension and hook size. So with me using a bigger hook, it's gonna be slightly bigger. Now, I'm gonna start us off. Now, it says about this pattern is written in US terms. This project is worked in rounds. Your total stitch count will be in parentheses at the end of each row. This will help you keep count of your stitches and make sure the finished product looks right. Chains and slip stitches do not count as a stitch. Okay? Now, everything that I am reading, I will have the link to this in the description, okay? Now, all of your stitches will be half double crochet stitch, unless otherwise noted. Now, round 1, after you cast onto your hook, you'll be doing you're chaining 4, slip stitch into the first chain, so make the ring, and you won't be doing a magic ring. And after that, you're going to chain 1 and make 8 half double crochet into a loop, so it'll be a total of 8 stitches. Join with slip stitch and then chain 1, okay? So let me work on that and I'll come back. Okay, so I did 5 just to make it a little bit bigger for me to work in. So you're going to go back into the first loop. And chain 1. And then half double crochet. A friend of mine actually taught me how to change colors, and I will actually teach you guys that later on. And four, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Now that I've gotten the 8, again, we're gonna slip stitch. Let me work, and then after we get this slip stitch together, we're gonna do an increase in each half double crochet around, so it'll be a total of 16. Okay, so let me work on that and I'll come back. Okay, so I did a slip stitch and chain 1. So the last time that I did this, I realized what I was doing wrong. Instead of stopping at the chain count, I went until the start, which was adding stitches when I didn't need those extra stitches. So for round 3, it's half double crochet increase, repeat around with 24 stitches, join with a slip stitch and chain 1. Okay, let me work on this and I'll come back and show you. Now, this is what I mean by having a gap. I'm gonna slip stitch and it'll actually close that gap. So you're gonna also then chain 1. Okay, and that's round 3. So round 4 is half double crochet 2, increase, repeat around for 32 stitches. Okay, for this round, since it's going to be a little bit confusing, you're going to do half double crochet, if I remember how to do a half double crochet. In the first 2. Okay, and then you're going to do a half double crochet increase. Okay, so if you're not sure how to do an increase, then like the previous rounds, refer to the previous rounds, which is what we were doing in the previous rounds. Okay, so you're going to continue with this, repeating the pattern for the rest of the round. Okay, let me work on this and I'll come back. Okay, now we're doing slip stitch and for round 5, we're doing half double crochet in the first 3 and then an increase. And then we're going to repeat the round. Repeat that for the rest of the round, okay? Now I'm going to just do a yard or a placeholder. This way I can remember where to slip stitch at, okay? Now, it's half double crochet in the first, like I said, the first 3, okay? And if you're not sure how to do a half double crochet stitch, go ahead and pause the video and go ahead and watch that video. Okay, so let me continue to work on this and I'll come back. Okay, now that I have the 40, I'm gonna slip stitch, remove my place marker, but I'm still gonna put it back at my current place. Okay. Chain 1. And round 6 is half double crochet in the first 4 and then an increase, and you're going to repeat this and have a total of 48 stitches, okay? And like I keep saying, if you're not familiar with how to do a half double crochet, go ahead and pause this video, and I would hope by now, after 6 rounds by now, you'll know how to do a half double crochet stitch. But if you're made it this far and you're still not sure, go ahead and pause the video and go ahead and watch the video of how to do a half double crochet. Okay, so let me work on round 6 and I'll come back. So this next round, now that I got the 48 and did the slip stitch and chained 1, this next round is going to be slightly different than the last several rounds. We're not going to be doing an increase or a decrease. So we're going to be doing a half double crochet in each half double crochet around with a total of 48 stitches around, okay? So let me go ahead and work on this and then I'll come back, okay? Okay, so since I have a couple more to finish on this round, one thing that I want to warn you guys about is once you get to this point, your work is gonna start to curl, and that's perfectly fine, okay? And you're, like every other round that we did, we're gonna slip stitch and chain 1, okay? Now, this next round is when we're gonna start to decrease. So we're gonna do the half double crochet in the first 4, and then we're gonna do half double crochet 2 together, okay? So let me work on this next round and I'll be back, okay? Okay, so now that I've gotten to the end, I'm gonna do the slip stitch to finish off this row and chain 1. Now, it's going to start coming together really nicely from here on out, okay? Now, row 9 is half double crochet 3 and then the decrease of 2 together, half double crochet 2 together. And you're going to repeat this for the entire round, and you should have 32 stitches. Okay, so let me work on this round, and I'll come back and show you what it's going to look like, okay? Okay. We're going to, again, slip stitch. And I'm sure by now you know how to do a slip stitch. And chain 1. Now, row 10 is 2 half double crochet and then the decrease, 2 together. So, like the previous decrease rounds, you're still going to do the 2 half double crochets single in their own loop, and then do the 2 together, okay? So let me work on this round, and this one you're going to have 24, okay? So let me work on this and I'll be back. Okay, now for round 11, after we do the slip stitch and chain 1, it's a half double crochet and a decrease, which is the half double crochet and then half double crochet 2 together, okay? And you should have 16, and at the end you're going to join with a slip stitch and chain 1, okay? So let me work on this one and I'll be right back. Okay, so like always, we're going to slip stitch and chain 1. Now, round 12 is decrease a round, and you should have 8. And you're going to finish off and use a small tail to weave the rest of the scrubby closed. Weave in all ends, okay? So after that, these bulky scrubbies can be washed in a garment bag in the washing machine on warm or cold, remove and air dry. So let me finish this off and I will show you how to tie it off. Well, let me do round 12 and I'll show you how to finish off, okay? Okay, so now that I've got the last stitch, again, for the final time, we're doing a slip stitch and we're gonna chain 1, okay? going to simply cut, remove the working yarn, pull this a little snug, and we're taking our yarn needle and, like with our hat that we did, we're just gonna be weaving this through to close the end of this part off. Now there are some patterns where they want you to have a longer tail to weave this through. If you want, you can do that. But you don't have to if you don't want to. Because the instructions do not specify that. But this was the only end that I really needed to weave in. Because as I was working the increase, I weaved this part in. So, this is actually what it's going to look like when it's done. I've actually made one similar to this, but with the actual scrubby yarn. But as always, I will see you in the next one.